Hello crafty friends and welcome to my channel. I'm Adrienne Bosey of Alice Scraps Wonderland. Today I'm sharing this altered paintbrush tutorial with you. It's a project that mixed media beginners and experts can take on and requires only a handful of supplies, all of which will be listed in the description box below for you. I wanted a slightly different take on the theme of wildflowers. In Alice in Wonderland, the Queen of Hearts gardeners paint the white roses red, which I think is a bit wild, like the whole movie itself, so I did a play on words for this theme. Let's get right into this tutorial, but don't forget to like this video and to hit the subscribe button for more content like this. I've already casted several molds with white resin to decorate this paintbrush with. To glue them in place, I'm using heavy body gel for long-term hold, plus a little hot glue to help hold these in place right away. The mold casts I'm applying right now are the deck of cards and delicate flora. Once these are glued in place, I prime the entire brush with Finn's heavy white gesso. I use two different brush sizes, a medium and a small, to help me get everything covered well, doing multiple coats where needed. If you find that your heavy gesso is creating a lot of brush stroke texture on your molds, wetting your brush with a bit of water will help decrease the amount of those marks. I also mess up the bristles of the paintbrush. The gesso will help hold this distressing in place as it dries. I also prime this small frame from the Ornate Frames mold. Other than white gesso, I'm using only one other paint color to create this ombre gradient brush. I place a bit of the poppy red impasto onto a piece of packaging to dip my paintbrush into and paint the bottom of the brush with this vivid red. Using a palette knife, I place some of the white gesso onto that same piece of packaging and mix it with the poppy red paint to create a medium red pink. I work this color into the middle of the brush, then work the bright red and the pastel hue together to soften the line and create that gradient of color. I then add more white gesso to a new piece of packaging. You don't want to dip your brush into your pot of gesso or you may contaminate it with the red paints. I work this white onto the brush handle, bringing the paint down to create a gradient between the lighter red and the white. I continue working on the ombre effect, mixing the paints where needed until I'm happy with how the paint looks. Then I paint the frame mold cast with the medium red pink paint. Once the paint is dry, I squeeze a bit of the celestial wax out onto a piece of packaging, then use my fingers to apply the wax to the highlights of the molds and the bristles of the brush. Now for assembling the flowers and the frame onto the brush. I start by ripping the greens off the backs of the flowers for a more cohesive look. Then I begin to play around with placement of the roses to see where I need to glue them in order to hold the frame up. I also prep this stemmed flower by twisting the stem around a small paintbrush handle. I decide I want to color match some of these roses to the paint job, so I paint one of the white roses and one of the red roses with the medium red pink paint. If you find your paint has dried up a bit on the packaging, just use a wet paintbrush to help reactivate the paint. You won't need much paint to cover these paper flowers with. Then I begin dry fitting and gluing the flowers in place with hot glue. I place the painted roses on the heart mold, which will hold up the frame. Then I place 2 of the stemmed flowers above the heart. I use hot glue to adhere the frame to the painted roses, then add an unpainted red rose to the bristles of the brush. Then I add a white rose above the stemmed flowers, creating a gradient of flowers that matches the paint. To the center of the frame, I add one of the red coral-hued poppies and the red stemmed flower bud from that same Queen's Garden set, and I cut the stem off the flower bud. Before I hot glue those flowers to the frame, I pull off one of the other stemmed flowers and re-glue it in a slightly different position so you can see it a bit better. I added the twisted cut stem from the red bud under the white rose. To get rid of the green on the stemmed flowers, I paint the wire stem and the leaves with white gesso. I also paint the center of the poppy flower with the white gesso for a shabby chic touch. Now for the sparkly touches. I brush just a bit of soft matte gel onto the flowers and the brush bristles, then apply the red glitter from the summer glitter set. I add a couple of red pearls with some liquid glue to the center of the poppy. Then I apply some red and white crystals from the Return to Wonderland and from the North Pole collections. And that's it. This pretty brush is ready to be displayed on a shelf or your wall. Until next time, happy crafting.